Hey everyone, how's everyone doing? Today we are doing an episode of Transformation Time. With the episode Transformation Time, we talk about people's personal development journeys and their mindset shifts that they've gone through throughout their journey of entrepreneurship and real estate, specifically obviously related to real estate. And so our guest speaker is Hewitt, and he's just coming on right now. Let me just get him on. Give me a second, guys. Oops. There we go. Just inviting him. Oh, Hewitt, you need the latest version of Instagram. Looks like you don't have the latest, so I can't invite you. So if you want to just quickly go and update your Instagram, and I'll just wait for you here. While we wait for Hewitt to just get his Instagram updated, I want to give you guys some news. This month's networking event, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Look, you can see my dog obviously needing to be in the shot. Look at this one. So Hewitt, I hope you understood what I said. Just give me a yes that you're gonna update, and I'll just chit chat and wait for you until I'll just chat. But yeah, so our networking event this month is going to be a mastermind, and it's going to be a lot of fun because we're going to have this one's going to be different because we won't be having a guest speaker, and the purpose of this is actually for all members to be able to get to know each other and talk about the projects they're currently on, and to let us know how we can help them and how they can help us. So I think it's going to be a really fun mastermind this month, because this time you'll also get, instead of the normal 5 minutes to get to know people, we'll be getting everyone, it'll be 10-minute breakout rooms so that you and your partner can get to know each other well. Each person gets 5 minutes, and like that, so you get to share what project you're working on, or what you're learning, or what your struggles are, and then you can share, you share like what you need help with, or what you're looking for, what your needs are, and same thing, you can tell the other person like what you can provide, how you can support, what you can contribute to help them out. And so I think this month's mastermind will be a lot of fun, because like that, you'll get to know your peers, the members in the community, and you'll get to find out even just things that maybe you didn't even know. I noticed that some people don't realize, for example, that like they'll be, for example, like, oh, I'm new, like I can't contribute anything to anyone. And that's not true at all, actually. There's always things that you can contribute. And you'll see like that as people even start asking, like, you'll just see that, maybe, for example, just remembering what it is to be someone who's new at learning this, like what actually even for you is important to learn. And what is something that, because sometimes I've noticed that as you become more and more experienced, you do tend to forget how it used to be at the beginning, because you're hitting different ceilings, and like my problems are still going to be so different to your problem. So it's nice to even have those reminders. So let's see, I'm just gonna double check if Hewitt has come back on. Not yet. So he's still updating. If it takes too long, then maybe we'll just restart the live once he's ready. But he is actually here. Perfect timing. Okay. Let's see if it's going live. Okay, there we go.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing great. And you?
Good, good. Excited to hear about your personal development journey and your mindsets. Thanks for coming on.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, I did not know that we have to update our apps.
Yeah, it happens for some people. They just, it doesn't matter, right? It's super quick, so it's not as if it's such a big deal.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
so let's just start with just tell people where you are right now in your real estate journey.
Okay, cool. So where we are right now, so we are operating an investment company with a team of 8. Some of them are part-time, some of them are full-time. Uh, and I live in Canada, and we're doing it virtually in Florida. So we got boots on the grounds, and we got our coach there as well, and our networks of realtors who's help us, and photographers to go there, and inspectors and all that. And we've been at this for, was it November now? So 11, like
Awesome.
fully committed.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's exciting. And because also, and it's just very different because you're living in Canada
Yeah.
and you're trying to actually is doing wholesaling, right? And you do wholesaling, or is it different? Sorry, wholesaling?
We know all the strategy there, so, but we want just to get cash for now. So then we just tell people that I just do wholesaling, but we have systems in place to do rent to own, um, and yeah, and
So I guess it's just like whatever property you find that, and depending on that property is kind of like you see which strategy works the best for that kind of property.
more like systems and resources that we have in place, because
Mhm.
we want our current resources right now to, and the systems to be able to take like a lot of influx for wholesaling operations, and then we're going to open up another system and resources, train them up to open up the lead option channels, because we tried to do that at the beginning, but it's not scalable. So I'm all about scalability. So
Makes sense. Makes sense.
uh,
That's awesome. So, and so what even, being that you're in Canada, like what made you even think of going to the US to invest in real estate? Like how did that even come up for you to just go, you know, to another country? To a
yeah,
lot of people, I feel like that's even just a huge mental like mindset shift to even just go out. So how did that go about for you?
yeah. So before real estate, I was in digital marketing, I was in e-commerce, I was in car sales and all that. So in terms of the mindset development, it's already there before I got introduced to real estate. Now, for real estate education, I first started with the legacy education here in Canada. So at that time, I wanted to start in Canada, but then I came across an ad that you can like do things virtually. Then I got into that rabbit hole, buying courses and all that, and then I see someone that we still keep in touch with, who kind of like where we see ourselves in like 2-3 years, and they are in BC, and they doing, I think it's, yeah, last time I heard it's, yeah, 7 figures a year.
Oh wow.
7 or 8, it was 10 million, yeah.
Hmm.
And they are doing it in Texas and Georgia, and we try to get in touch with him, yeah, and had a call with him, and just seeing someone who kind of broke the 3-minute mile, and we're like, yeah, if they can do it, we
That
can.
broke the what, sorry?
The 3-minute mile,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. Or another word you can call it like a paper ceiling.
Yeah, yeah.
When you see someone did it, you can do it too. Like, I don't think they're any smarter than us. They just do things differently. They think things differently.
Hmm.
So we're just learning from.
Actually, that's even a great point that you say that because I think that's also another big mental struggle with a lot of people is thinking a person is special and only they can do it. So how do you like how did that come? Like have you always felt like if someone can do it, you can do it? Or like was this a mindset shift that you just started like did something happen for you start thinking this way or how did that come about for you?
Oh well, um, I hit my lows. I hit my lowest point. I hit my lowest point. So
You have what, sorry?
I hit my lowest point.
Mm.
So I got a dry eye when I was working at IBM, and I had to quit because I cannot look at screens. Even right now, it's a little bit hurting. Looking at the Instagram screen. Usually, I don't look at a lot. Um, and wait one second. Okay, can you guys hear me?
Oh, did you? Yeah, yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, okay. The notification, my screen. I have a screen notification. When I'm on screen like more than 5 minutes, it gives me a notification. So,
Oh.
um, so yeah, like I was in my lowest point. Like I don't know what to do with
Hmm.
life without looking at screens.
Hmm.
Because I study computer engineering. What I do and what I know is all about computers. And then I get into sales. And when I learn to sales, when I get into sales, I have to really change me. I have to really change my introvert personality, right?
Hmm.
Um, and I think that's the beginning of like cracking open my shell. You can say that. And then since then, yeah, I did a lot of reading, a lot of reading, a lot of brainwashing my brain. Um, and then I learned about marketing, I learned about media, and then I just really learned how to hack my brain. And
Yeah, that's
that's
awesome.
that's how I am able to really see things differently than
Hmm.
majority. And of course, I learned all this from who else other than the one that are already successful, right? The
Hmm.
billionaires, the millionaires, Bill
Hmm.
Gates, Jeff Bezos, Sam Walton, right? Um, and yeah, so then when I see that, it's just that's why they do what they do every day. That's why they
Yeah,
are.
that's awesome. And that's great that you say that because I feel like even just that you said, for example, you did a brainwashing. Like I think it's a good term for people to start realizing that yeah, there may be negative terms to net brainwashing, but there's also like positive ones. You know, if you have like these negative views or you have like certain points of view that you're just like, I've grown out of it and it's time to move on, you're basically that's what you're doing. You're doing a brainwash, right? You're just like, I need to input different information and I need to allow it to absorb. And I just need to like learn to accept it because it's just like I'm ready to change my reality kind of thing. And that's what it sounded like what it was for you, right? You're like, I need to change my reality. Like it's just this is just not happening.
Exactly, exactly. And like words and languages is not really natural for us. We just attach meanings to the words that we use. So it doesn't matter
Hmm.
what words we use, as long as you attach a certain meanings to it, you can use it. But of
Hmm.
course, yeah, the brainwashing, the word brainwashing is very mostly attached to the negative um, things
Yeah,
by
view.
by the
Yeah,
media.
people think like, oh, you're getting brainwashed, like you need to get out of there. It's a cult or who knows what, and you're just like, no, no, no. I need a cleaning,
Yeah,
a
you
nice
can call it
cleaning of
brain.
the brain.
I guess you can call it brain cleanse or brain diet,
Yeah,
whatever words that fits your needs.
yeah. So do you have any specific books or tips that helped you to start cleaning your brain?
mm,
Or any specific situations that or things like that that kind of are habits that you started doing, like anything like that, just like you felt like to help you start kind of moving in the direction that you wanted to go in.
oh, so for that one, I really I learned. So through my process, I really learned like a system that I can even kind of share it. But the thing is, life happens, and I think there's only three things that like the three major things that changes people, because human we have ego, and the ego thing it's a little bit hard to break, and only there's three things that will break it, and one is divorce or any relationship, right? The second one is broke like bank account, like no financial,
Mm-hmm.
and the other one is health.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it was health.
Mm. Yeah,
And
totally agree.
health,
Those are.
and for me, health implies.
Mm-hmm. Oh, oh, there you go. Sorry, I couldn't hear you for a second, but you said health implies.
It implies the financial as well, because without me looking at screen, how can I make a living, right? So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
that's like a shift. And yeah, there's tons of books. I read tons. But the first one that I've read is that I complete end to end after school is How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Oh, nice.
So
How did you like that one? That one was like an
it,
impactful book for you?
it's huge. It's changed my game. It's changed my social skills.
That's awesome. I need to read it. I don't know why the first time for me, I couldn't get into it, but I think my mindset was like in a different place and my focus was like in a different, I was specifically really focused in business, so I couldn't get into it, but everyone's like telling me and I'm just like, okay, you're telling me I have to read it, okay?
Yeah,
So that'll probably be one of my next books. I probably have to get onto that one.
yeah.
But another thing that you were saying that I think is also very cool to dive into
Hmm.
um, was that you said that you were an introvert, or you still are, like, but you're just changing like certain aspects to help you deal
Well,
with being an introvert, but also be outgoing, right?
how
So how did that go around for you?
yeah, more like how to leverage it. Really
Yeah.
finding the strength of being an introvert and what it means, and
So
try.
what kind of changes did you start to make
Oh yeah,
to
so
like get through, not maybe get through, but like you knew that you have to like make this change because it's like something that's gonna help you go forward in life. Like what were kind of the things that you saw that you needed to change in yourself?
so I got into car sales, taking a like a minimum wage job and plus commission. So that's huge one. The other one is I took a improv class.
Oh, nice.
It was fun. It was an 8 weeks improv class at Second City. There wasn't a day where I don't laugh the whole 3 hour. So
Oh yeah, yeah.
huge. And well, my internship at IBM, I already started my EQ development in like emotional development already, because I know that at that time coding was not my thing, and I was part of a project management team. So I joined Toastmaster, and I completed like the first kind of level for both
Yeah.
leadership and communications. Uh,
Oh, nice.
so yeah,
So
and
your main focus then as an introvert was more to improve than your communication skills, it seems like.
yeah,
Because improv is really communication also. Sales is communication,
yeah, yeah.
right? And
Any
oh, that's
any
interesting.
EQ, because I'm like in school, I'm just mostly focusing on my IQ, and my IQ is high relatively to my EQ. And as an engineer, I have to differentiate myself by improving my presentation skills and communication skills.
Hmm.
And so
That's awesome. That's great. And so I'm just because I'm so interested actually with what you're saying, because I mean, let's say with me specifically.
mhm.
So I had problems with, for example, I have problems with talking to a big group of people in the sense of like, when you're talking like in a big circle and it's kind of like you have to talk general conversation, um, and so for me, I actually found it very hard to have conversations with big groups of people at once. I'm more of like the one-on-one. Like I, for some reason, like to really deep dive and be like, tell me who you are, you know? And
Yeah,
so I found that for me, when I would go to like, let's say events to meet people or friends parties where I probably maybe knew like less than half the people or probably much less. Like if there were like 100 people, let's say, and I probably only knew five and I had to go and meet people,
yeah,
like my strategy as an introvert was I would pick like the lonely person and go talk to them because I struggled so much with like the group conversations. You know, some people are just so good with the groups. Like, did these kind of things, like social interactions, kind of impact you, or did you have to change or work around like how you interact in groups?
So this is what I did. This is how I put in my reps. I go to all of the networking events and
Mm-hmm.
just go there and put in my reps. And just go talk to random people. Um, but yeah, you know, I think we have a role in the world as an introvert. I think you are as well, right? It's like
Mm-hmm.
if you're looking at like a show, usually the guys who get everyone pumped up and excitement is the extrovert.
Yeah.
And then like and then we would be coming after and tell them the meat and the potato.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where everyone listens because you talk substance, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just put I guess yeah, going to networking events, and I think doing this too. I think it's really great, and I think it's just hard because as an introvert, I don't think we would really appeal to everyone's interest in a way, like as in like we're not really trying to be everyone's favorites.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah, yeah.
hard to say things to everyone to get people to agree. But unless you really kind of go to like a show that specifically on like the topic that you are like an expert at or something like that. So
Mhm. Yeah, I agree. It is hard, but I think at the same time, I mean, at that sense, I feel like introverts and extroverts doesn't really matter who you are. I mean, you can't get everyone to like you either, right? Like, I'm sure like some extroverts are just kind of like, you're a little too much for me,
yeah,
like way too high energy. I'm like, I need to like chill it down a little.
no, that's so true. I burned out fast. Like I can burst energy into like speaking on stage and all that, but then my withdrawal would be like down. But my
Yeah,
partner,
I think actually that's, to be honest, the real definition of being an introvert is actually the way, like your energy level. It's actually super interesting. I forget exactly how they say it, but it's basically, for example, like if you're in a social environment, the way you can tell if you're an introvert or extrovert is introverts, for some reason, like when we're in social places, like we get our energy gets sucked. So we only have so much time that we can be in a big group, and we have to like retreat and just be like, time out, I need a break, I need to like take a nap, like something, like I'm fully exhausted. Whereas like an extrovert is the other way around. They like thrive so much, like they gain energy from other people's energy. So when they're in a group, they're the other way around. They will actually gain more energy, and they actually can go like 3, 4, or 5 in the morning, and we're like done at 1. Like we're like, guys, it's ready to start the day. Oh, I think we lost Hewitt. Okay, one sec. Going live. Um, I hope I don't know if he ended up hearing everything I said. Oh no, I got disconnected. But I was just saying, so yeah, the difference actually between an introvert and extrovert is actually very, very basic. Like a lot of people specifically confuse shy with introvert, but really what it is that like if you want to know if you're an introvert or an extrovert, go to an event, and if you are a person where you're out, enjoying having fun, but you notice that you need to go and retreat and just kind of like rejuvenate yourself, you're an introvert. An extrovert is the other way around. Like they'll go into an event or a gathering and they like feed off of people's energy. So they actually gain more and more energy. So you notice like extroverts will like go to like they'll be the last ones at the party kind of a thing because they just feed off of other people's energies. You look at introverts, and introverts are like, I gotta go. I need to take like a nap, or I need to go hide and just like gather my energy. So I always find that very, very interesting. That was something that helped me a lot because, and it's very true. I think when you're young, people always say like, oh, it's an introvert is shy. And that's something that Matt McKeever said at one of our shows. He was actually my very first guest. But what he said was like that, like we get told we're shy as introverts, we're shy, we're shy, we're shy. And because of that, we think that our behaviors are very weird and that maybe we are shy. And then we start adopting that and then feeling like uncomfortable. And then I think we, by being told we're shy all the time, you actually do start becoming shy. And yeah, because I remember people would always, even when I'd go to parties, like I'd be sitting and enjoying just watching people, and the extroverts would be like, "Oh my God, what's wrong with you? Like, you need to get up." Like, like they would be stressing for me, and I would be like, "I am doing really well, actually. I'm just enjoying chilling, watching." So, so that is, and I don't know where we lost Hewitt. Actually, he's not back yet. But do you guys have any questions? Any questions while we wait? Oh wait, I think he's back. Hold on. Okay. Let me get him back on. But yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Like that we were just going through,
Oh,
okay, we're just going through your personal development journey. I was just saying, I don't know if you got to hear what we were talking about, but
yeah.
okay. So yeah, so I think it's just, what do you think of that? Or what I was saying about the energy thing is like you feel that way, right? Like you
Yeah,
feel
so
like your energy gets sucked after a
just
certain amount of time, right?
yeah, and like just so you know, I'm operating this business not alone. I have a business partner, and he's completely different than
Mhm.
me.
And that's amazing because you notice that you thrive more actually when you're opposites, right?
Exactly.
Like you're the introvert, but then if your partner is like extrovert or just outgoing or even skills wise completely different, like
Completely different.
it's just yeah, it's like night and day, but it's like
Yeah,
you work well together because he'll be, for example, like, hey, I don't know what's going on. I can't do this, this, and this. And you're like, don't worry, I got it.
yeah,
And he's like the same way. You'll be like, oh my God, I have to do this, this, and this. And he's just like, I can't. And he's like, don't worry, I got it.
yeah. I'm like, I can't, I don't know how to respond to a realtor, and then he comes in and like he
He's
responds.
like, I got it.
Yeah,
Like this. And you're like,
yeah,
awesome.
yeah, exactly. I'm like the background tech guy, process systems, and he's more like sales, closing,
Building the relationships, trying to just, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's funny. Actually, and I feel like, I mean, even in relationships, I think is the same. Because same like me and my husband, like same thing. I remember when we first got to meet each other, like he was like one of those like party all the time, and I'm like, are you crazy? I go like party like once a month maybe, and that's even a lot for me. I was just like, we need to find like an even keel because he's just like, I need to talk and be friends with everyone, go and chill, blah blah. And I was just like, dude, you just telling me this right now? I'm already exhausted just listening to you.
exactly.
But then like that, but then we complement each other very well. Cause same thing, like he's out there, like when we started his business, like that he's like getting the business, obviously doing the renovations because that's what he does. But like he loved it, right? Because he's just using the skills of like meeting people, building those relationships. And I'm just like, don't worry, I got you. Like I'll make sure your website's okay. I make sure like your business is actually able to run because he's like a zero when it comes to that. Like he's like, oh, I gotta go see an accountant. I'm like, yes, you have to go see an accountant, get those taxes done. And he's just like, who cares? I just want to make friends and make my business bigger.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, same thing, same thing. Any tech stuff, he would need my approval first. I won't let him touch the tech stuff. He's gonna break it. Uh,
Yeah.
he's gonna break it.
You're like, just tell me what you want before
Yeah,
you break it.
exactly. But here's the funny thing, though. I'm not really an action taker. I'm
Mhm.
more of a thinker, planner. But he's
Yeah,
a bulldozer, right? The action taker. I let him break the system first, and then I go things, pick it up, and then put it together, and then.
that's awesome. That's
Uh,
great. And again, like these are things you need, right? Because you need someone to, especially if you're very extreme, I think it's very good. Because, for example, like that, like if a person just goes and does something without thinking, like you're just like, holy shit, but that's your job, right? You're like, I'm the thinker. So you're like dragging behind, like, okay, let me try to make sure that you're like not doing anything stupid.
yeah, yeah. No, for me, I'll just let it run. I just let him.
But you'll be there to like pick up the pieces and put
Exactly.
it together, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think like that, like and it's needed, right? Because like that, like I'm the same way. Like I think way too much. Like that, like I am so analysis. I remember, it was last year or 2 years, last year, where they're talking about like analysis paralysis.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that was me, like 100%. You know, like I was just like I knew way more than I needed to know in real estate. Like I was learning things that it's not even strategies I'm interested in, just because I'm just like I need to know everything. You know?
Yeah, so I'm learning every day. I'm reading every day. I'm reading everything that.
Yeah, I'm sure like that. For you, it's the same thing, right? Just like learn, learn, learn. So it's nice to have that person that will just be like, "Hey, I need this done," and they're like, "Done." I was like, "Oh, really? Okay."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But the funny thing though, I think you may have this moment too, where like I need my team.
Pardon?
I need my team to realize my vision. So I need someone to just hop on a call with me and just ask me, because I cramp so much information in my head that I need someone to like take it out.
Take it out. Yeah.
And like, because sometimes I don't even know what I know.
Yeah.
Right? So when someone asks me, then I go dig deeper into my, database and like take it out. And yeah, without them, I would not be able to have, ideas that coming out and actually put it to work. So
Yeah. Yeah, I see what you mean. Or something, or like, or even I think this, then that probably also happens with like your team and communication, right? Because something that I realize that I do is, for example, I'll be like, hey, build me a business card. And for some reason, I thought I told them all the information. And then they're like, what the hell do I do with that information?
exactly, because we think that it's transferred to
We
them
think too
like
fast inside
yeah,
our heads,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like in our head, we've told them everything. Like we're like, we want this, and
yeah,
but for some reason, all that comes out of our mouth is just
yeah,
build
yeah,
a business card, and they're like,
yeah.
uh, what do I do with that information
So
exactly?
that was me, yeah, a couple months ago. And I think I still have some of that, but lately I've been trying to create a checklist.
Task oriented.
Yeah,
I find that helps me a lot too.
so that I have to complete all of them in order to delegate.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. That's a great point. That's something also I learned
yeah,
too.
yeah,
Sorry, finish what you're saying.
yeah, because else I would just delegate to them, assuming that they know.
Hmm.
Because right, it's just
Yeah.
yeah, it's sometimes I think too fast, like two, 3 steps ahead, that it's hard. So that's something that I'm looking to improve on, really explaining my vision and telling the team where we're going, um and really improve my way of convey my vision.
Hmm. Hmm.
Part of the
Yeah, because it's very true. Like for some reason we think we've said it, and
Mhm.
it didn't. And they're like, you clearly didn't say very much, and we're like, oh,
Yeah, 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 exactly.
that's
But
funny.
it's fun. But I think I'm not sure if you heard of the book called Alter Ego.
No, I haven't. I've heard of it, but I haven't read that one either. How is that one?
So me, before I met my partner, when I was selling cars, I was trying to be someone like him, right? Because
Hmm.
I'm trying to be extrovert. So right now I still have that skill set. However, I have to be in the right mode, the right ego mode.
Hmm.
I can switch that anytime using the alter ego process on how to switch a different mode. So, which means that when I need to be the closer, the negotiator, then I would turn on that mode. Or you can call it like different hat.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Beginning we wear a different hat, and
Hmm.
okay, you can be like, okay, the doer hat, like the action taker hat, or the
Yeah.
think hat, right? That's another way to think about it.
And I
But
think like even though as an introvert, though, like you learn these different hats, but it does, I don't think as an introvert though, it's like you're really changing as an extrovert. I think you're just kind of adapting and just learning, the like how to behave in a different situation, isn't it?
no. So since I know that my flaws are analysis paralysis, I learned to switch it off. Just
So sorry, you know that your flaws are which?
all like the analysis paralysis,
Oh,
like
analysis
think too
paralysis. Yeah.
much, right? I learned how to switch it off. I learned how to just
Hmm.
not think and just do.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but that
But I don't know if you would consider that. That's not really being an introvert, though. I think that's like that, like kind of like a habit that you have, and you're having to, like you said, like a habit that you have, and you're like turning it off and on when you need it, kind of a thing. Don't you think?
uh yeah, so it's really depend on what you are going to do.
Yeah.
You need to do. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah,
But yeah, I totally agree with you. Um, yeah, like exactly like those kind of changes that you make where it's like you can be that person I used to be, for example, like that, like analysis paralysis, or sometimes you even, I feel like sometimes you may even lose it. Not lose it, but as in minimize it or control it differently, I would say. Because
yeah,
let's say with me, I would say that like I like that. I used to be analysis paralysis, and now the way I get around things is actually very different. Like now I realize, for example, because I think the reasoning, tell me if you think this, but the reason why we get into these analysis paralysis because we think we need to know everything before we start everything because you for some reason at least I would have this thing like, oh my god, if I get like an offer today, like tomorrow I need to already know everything. Whereas like you realize it's things are actually a lot slower, and I realize that I have time in between to learn everything too. So that's actually at least for me that's how I got over the analysis paralysis. And even if I didn't know, well, that, and I also, because I knew I had like learned way too much, so I think I felt like my base was so solid that even if I didn't know anything and I'm doing new things, I have like enough time in between the different phases of whatever it is that I'm doing to be able to just like look up things. So that's at least for me how I got out of my analysis paralysis issue. How was it similar for you or kind of, or was it different?
mm, that's so. Like I know is that I just know that in that case I would just need my partner to come in.
Okay, so your partner will like help you and pull you out of the analysis paralysis or like make you take the action or whatever.
Yeah, or yeah, or just decide and then just go with it. See, but the thing is, it's really depend on what it is that I'm doing. Like maybe I'm not really good at switching, using a different mode for a different task, right?
Hmm.
One other thing is socializing, meeting with new people. I don't think I need to really bring my thinking hat on because I need to be spontaneous. I need to be having fun. So that's why I bring my kind of
Hmm.
um, fun personality into the play. So I
Hmm.
really depending on what kind of work I'm doing. So I just need to learn how to be aware of that and what skills that I need in order to be successful in whatever that task is.
Hmm. Hmm.
Right?
Yeah. Or like you said, even calling on your teammates when you're just like, this is just not happening for me, I need help kind of a thing.
Yeah, yeah. No, yeah, that's true. That's why having a partner is crucial.
Yeah, yeah. And I think, I
And
mean, and I
knowing
feel
how
like
to
that
ask.
will always happen too. Specifically, I feel like when it's like we're very, very different and it's something that is just kind of like, it's easier if they do it because they just know, you
Yeah,
know.
exactly. No, at the beginning, we kind of trying to get the other persons to do what we are good at,
Hmm.
because we thought that they should do that in order to share the weight.
Yeah.
But then we learn to really discover our strengths and weaknesses.
Hmm.
So then now,
And you just move faster that way because you start realizing, like, yeah, there are things that I want to improve in myself, but if I want to move quicker, like, team members just have to take care of it. The ones that are good at that kind of a
yeah,
thing.
exactly. And like we have to really stick to our strength, right? But of course, before we do that, we have to really know what our strengths are and what our
Hmm.
weaknesses are, so that we can delegate our weaknesses and really play with our strength. And it's funny, and like you would enjoy it too. like you would have full energy, you know. Like for me, developing a website and all that, yeah, I can go all day.
Mm-hmm.
Or developing system, I can go all day, all night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's just like, yeah, exactly. When you're doing something you enjoy, like time just passes and you don't even realize because you're just so laser focused and you're just like, I want to get this done. I'm enjoying what I do. And and that's how it should be, really. If
Yeah.
like when time goes by and you're just like getting so much done, like you're doing what you enjoy. If you're
Exactly.
like stressed out, it's like
Yeah, you know, that's just part of really finding yourself too, you know, learning about what your gifts are.
Mhm.
And like, you know, it goes into passion and like purpose and all that. So,
Mhm.
really cool.
Yeah, 100% agree. And I just wanted to actually backtrack back to what we were talking about, the tasks, because I think that is also an important thing. Because it's interesting you brought it up, because I also noticed it within me that, like exactly you're saying, like t you were talking about how tasks, like, because you probably do very, like, are your tasks very specific? Like they're very like a task is like a kind of like a one action thing, or are your tasks very like big?
Is it me or are you talking about the one that I
Like when you create tasks for you for your team, let's say,
oh
or
yeah.
because you're talking about tasks or tasks for yourself. When you're how you're saying like you conveying ideas and you kind of do tasks.
Yeah. So yeah, it's very specific now. Because that was the mistake before is just do high level stuff, and I assume that everyone is like the one that I assume every team member have the figure it out mentality where they just go Google, YouTube, and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But no, of course they can do that. It's just time. They're gonna need a lot of time, and that's not good.
Yeah.
Better for me to just identifying goals, purpose, um, checklist, requirements for them,
Mm-hmm.
and also do a demos as well.
And you do what, sorry?
Like a demo, like a
Oh,
demo.
demo. Yeah.
Hey, this is how to do this task.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's really depend too. You know, if it's an on business task or in business task. On business tasks mostly are research and development. So that's mostly would be me and my partner, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Yeah, because research and development task is just do it without really just fail. Fail
Yeah. Yeah.
fast, right? And then just collect data so that
Mm-hmm.
we get the data to really improve what we learned and yeah, and all that. So that's research
Mm-hmm.
and development. That's the
Exactly.
on business task. Mhm.
Yeah. So I agree with you. Yeah. So for me, it was the same thing. And I don't know if it was the same for you, but I actually noticed that when I like that, I started like my tasks started becoming very specific so that my team couldn't like make mistakes or like the mistakes are so small because it's, like I would be specific. And I noticed that even like helped kind of organize my mind. Actually, I feel like it even helped me as a person. Like I started realizing like how jumbled up my brain was with
Yeah,
thoughts.
yeah, yeah. I know. It's a great way to really organize your brain, right? And like yeah, because
Hmm.
we learn so much that we like it's not organized. That's why
Yeah,
sometimes we like I sometimes I meditate. Well, not sometimes, but I try to meditate every day, and I think I
yeah.
do for almost a year now. And yeah, it's supposed to like consolidate your brain and what you learned. And
Yeah, 100%.
yeah, it's yeah, it's one thing to do it yourself, and it's another thing to delegate it. So that's something that we learned.
Uh-huh.
That's fun.
Yeah. That was the same thing with me. Yeah, delegation was something that like that I ended up really actually enjoying delegation because like that it was almost a way even for me to organize my thoughts like that with all those tasks. Like it would just be like, oh, you just start really thinking about what these tasks are or like the importance of them and just like what you want to do.
Yeah. I'm like the task creator of the game because I'm the one that just think out of nowhere and just create it because I
Hmm.
know like the smaller steps and like all that. But
Yeah.
if there's missing part, then I just leave it there until
Yeah.
when times comes, and then it will come up, right? So
Yeah. Well, and it's like you were saying, right? Because your partner, he's just action taking. So he probably doesn't have everything thought through. Like he's just like, just go. Right? So
you
it's,
just
so with
just
you,
go.
it's like you put the tasks there and then he just even for him it's probably good too. Like it's like you don't realize actually how tasks help both sides out. You know, it's like helps you organize your thought and it helps a person who's such an action taker to actually be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna do this, you know, because if you put an action taker, they will action take on like everything, you know.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, my partner, yeah, like I think he's just really great at just going the uncharted territory,
Mm-hmm.
where we both don't know, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we just go
Yeah.
there. In terms of him following the steps that I write, it would be a little bit challenging because we both are entrepreneurs and we don't really like rules. Or however, we are building our own rules and we have to follow it. So it's a bit challenging. But yeah, that's just part of being on this journey, is to really keep each other accountable and really put in the reps and the disciplines in order to create consistent
Yeah, and
outcomes.
usually at least he'll be like the big picture. Like he'll be like, okay, that's what I'm gonna do, but he'll probably do it in his way,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you. I feel like that's like me and my husband.
Yeah.
I'll be like, babe, we gotta do this. And he's just like, I'm gonna just do it this way. And I'm just like, and I was like, but I had a nice little list for you, you know? Like I was like nicely organized, my beautiful little list. And it's like, he just like, as if like, throw it in the garbage. He's like, don't worry, I
Yeah.
got it. And I was like,
I
okay.
spend a lot of time by just indenting stuff. So now
Yeah.
I don't let him delete any of my stuff because he
Or you
go
have a copy. You know, I will know when you change something.
he go in and like delete everything, and like what, you know. But yeah, it's just so fun, so much fun.
The goods and bads, right? Like being so different means that same thing, right? Like means that the way you do things are so different. And so even those things actually help you adapt to each other, I notice, right? Like that. Like I'm super like task oriented, very like organized kind of person. Like I like writing things out and making systems. Like I'm very similar to you. Like I love building systems and things like that. Like that was my job actually. I used to be a oh my God, what is my job? Like a business process. Like I used to build business processes on like in softwares, right? And and then like my husband, like zero, like he's just like go with the wind. Like he will like if like a bird came and took him away, he'd be like, let's do it. And I'd be like, are you crazy? Have we like looked into this properly? You know, like
Yeah, yeah,
he'd be
yeah,
like, don't worry about it. Let's just do it. I'm like, oh my
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. That's what I do as well. I'm the integration consultant. I build, yeah, software systems
God.
as well. And yeah, it's fun, drawing flowcharts. And yeah, I did a flowchart today too with.
Oh, I think I'm starting to lose you again. Oh, I think, are you back?
Yeah, yeah,
Hello? Okay. I
yeah.
think
Can you
you're
hear?
coming in and out. Are you here? Oh, I think I got you back. Yeah, you're back, right? Or now are we delayed?
Yeah, yeah. I think we're delayed.
A little delayed, but I think we can handle it. Either way, we have like 10 minutes left anyway, so I
Yeah,
think it'd be great now that we can actually just talk about, like that. Like it was nice. We basically went through your learning experiences, like that, learning about like even like you learning about yourself and wanting, for example, like that to change who you are, doing a brainwashing, because I think that's, to be honest, what is very important. If you're going to be an entrepreneur, if you're going to be someone that's going to start a business, you have to work on your mindset like that. Like you have to do that brainwashing, because if you want to do something that you don't know, you have to change, because your mind only works with what it knows now. And for you to level up, this is what we're all doing. We're all changing ourselves to be able to level up and improve ourselves,
Yeah.
right? So I think it's awesome that you've said all that. And let's get with the final question. So where do you see yourself in the next like 5 to 10 years? Like, do you have your goals or plans set out for business slash personal, whatever?
Yeah. So at the current rate that we're going right now, first year, we're looking to get into like first six-figure month at the end of the year. We will,
Awesome. Congratulations. That's exciting.
like right now, like last month we got 4 so but the first one took I think 7 8 months. So
That's always how it is, I feel like.
yeah.
I feel like in entrepreneurship, again, I feel like just in entrepreneurship, doesn't matter what you do. I feel like because you're again like in that time, I feel like you're hitting those like mindset hurdles, like
Yeah.
even believing in yourself. Like I think everyone goes through that. Like 3 to 6 months, like you won't really see anything happening because it's like your mind is trying to grasp, but this is actually happening and you're
Yeah.
doing this and like believing in yourself, right?
The funny thing is, not, I think we too, yeah. But I brainwashed myself so much to believe it that when it actually happened, I surprised myself. But I actually
Hmm.
was believing it.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Now, yeah, I think in 5 years we are looking like into, yeah, like I see people that I'm learning from. In 5 years, they are doing 700 a month. So we will
Hmm.
try to beat that 700 a month revenue.
Hmm.
So that would be, yeah, like 10, I don't know, 40, 50 deals a month.
Hmm.
Somewhere we're gonna go, but I don't know. I don't know if we want to stick to just wholesaling. Although private equity that will be part of it as well. I think we are going to that route as well, where we just raise capital and yeah, run a
Yeah.
private equity.
And I think that's also something interesting that is definitely something you can't tell. Is like that, like you think now, like wholesaling working, you love it and you're gonna keep it, but you realize again, like you start pivoting and you start changing and your goals start changing, right? You'd be like, maybe I want a little bit more stability and I want just like a rental property that I know is going to like cash flow me when so much a month, right? Or a few
Yeah,
rental
yeah,
properties that does it, right? So
yeah.
it's interesting to see like how we're all going to evolve, right? Because it's like we say things now and then we talk like in 5 years and it'll be like a completely different story.
Yeah, exactly. No, we are thinking about that because the industry is changing quick because of the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we were looking to just get cash and then double down on like a lower tier state like Ohio and all that to do one deal in Florida and then buy like 2 deals in like Ohio for cash flow and write it out and all that and
Right.
helping investors to do that same as well. So yeah, that's where we're heading, and I think we're going to stick with real estate. Maybe we might getting into e-com and NFTs and all that too. So we'll see, we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Time will only
so
tell,
but
right?
yeah, exactly. Whatever floats our boats.
Yeah,
In
exactly.
terms
Yeah.
of personal, yeah, personal. Like right now, I think I got my wealth development kind of good. Like I don't need to really on a put like a gas pedal on the wealth development. So lately, I've been just doing my health development. Um, so yeah, like and like
Like what does
learning
that mean? Like what's house development?
health or like
Oh, health.
like
Health
fitness.
or house? Sorry, your
Yeah,
health?
yeah. My health, like fitness, nutrition, diet.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. I
Yeah,
feel like to be honest, I feel like that should be on everyone's bucket list. I'm also the same. Like, I find health super important and it's something that I'm always striving to try to improve all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's the health that kind of brought me to where I am, right? With my eyes and all that. And I'm trying to find a kind of cure or like home remedy for my eyes so that it starts lubricating again.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's my plan.
Awesome. Thanks so much for coming on. It was so fun to chat with you and get to hear your personal development journey and mindset shifts. You shared so much, and I think everyone got a lot of value. Everyone will, even people that watch afterwards are going to get a lot of value from all the information that you've provided.
Yeah. Thanks, Diana, for having me.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone. Bye, everyone. We'll
Bye.
see you in the next episode. Bye. I can't, for some reason, cancel. Hi, guys. I'm not sure why it's not canceling. Oh, there we go.